Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my show, The Counter Narrative. With almost now 6 weeks to the war between apartheid state of Israel and Hamas, Hamas has not only survived, but it has also thrived. It has been hitting back Israel. It has been firing rockets and missiles, particularly in the southern part of Israel. The only success story that Israel has met is the large-scale killing of Palestinians. It has killed 13,000 Palestinians. It has maimed and injured 32,000 others. 6,000 Palestinians are still under the rubble. But there is again a bigger picture which is developing about the military side of this war theater. There are huge losses to the Israeli army which has not been fully reported. Joining me today in this show is Dr. Khaled Qadomi, who is the official spokesperson for Hamas. If I could begin by asking what military gains Hamas has made inside Gaza, and what are the military losses of Israel? And there's also a lot of claims coming from Tel Aviv that perhaps they have taken over the entire northern part of Gaza. What is your assessment, and what reports are there coming from the battlefield about what exact situation is there in Gaza?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you, Brother Javed, for having me. Actually, this again, it has two dimensions. One dimension that is emphasizing the psychological treatment by the leadership of Israel with their own soldiers and their own society. You know, after all, Netanyahu, when he has declared to get into the ground offensive or ground maneuver, he said it on 27th of October, he has at the end to present something before his society to say that it is really a winning over the enemy, if I may say. On the other hand, there is a reality on the ground. You know, the Israeli army, when they have started the second stage of this war, which they have called it the Asiyuf al-Hadidiyya, the iron swords. We call it the Tufan al-Aqsa, the flood of al-Aqsa. They called it the iron swords, as if we are coming back to the century of Stone Ages or something like that. There's no technology, and it's just only killing and killing and killing. So there are three stages. He started the first stage on 8th, rather the night of 8th. It was 7 in the night of October. That was the redeployment of the forces. Then on 27th of October, the second stage, that is the ground maneuver, because he cannot say, as I said, a ground offensive or a ground war, because it has to have a strategic goal, strategic aim to be dealt with the end result. Then on 10th of November, we entered into the third stage of this war, that is the street war, if I may call it like that, or cities war. I don't know particularly what it's called in English, but it's street war. So from there,
firefighting, maybe street to street,
firefighting or something like that. And you know, in this stage of street fighting or city fighting or whatever it's called, the conventional armies fail to produce because the technology fail, the distances decreases, and then the asymmetrical forces, when they advance towards the Israeli tanks or advance towards the Israeli arsenal, they are more effective and more productive. I'm talking about the Palestinian resistance fighters and Hamas personnel in this war. We've seen our youngsters, they are even without the commando dress. They are with a sport tracksuit, and some of them, they are barefoot even. They are not having their own yoga. With a full of a smile and confidence, they get this bomb of Al Yasin 105. They walk steady, approach the Merkava. You know, Merkava is cost between $3.5 million to $10 million. It is a pure technological castle. It can even sense the fly approaching it, but it failed to even sense the mujahideen and fighters when they approach them. That fighter is go and install the bomb and come back steady to his own tunnel or to his own heat, and then the tank is exploded. Either it's destroyed totally or partially. And then the more brave man in this incident is the cameraman. The cameraman from the fighter's side, he's holding the camera like this as if he is in a studio. And he's talking to his colleague. Everything is okay? Finished? Can we go? So we go. So this braveness is really legendary. And it deserves to be saluted. It deserves to be respected.
So far, how many tanks?
Yes, this is what I'm coming to that. Now, when you talk about Merkava, you need to also remember Panther. Panther is one of the state art also vehicle of shifting the personnel, army personnel. That is also cost the same thing as Merkava. The Israeli army has 600 Merkava. And today, by today, according to Abu Ubaidah, the spokesperson of Al-Qassam Brigade, we managed to destroy around about 220 Merkava. That is more than 1/3. Yes. Beside Panther and beside other war machines or war cars or vehicles, I don't know what they call it, particularly in English, they have been destroyed. This is very important to notice. That is billions of dollars economy. That is an impact psychologically over the Israeli soldiers, over the Israeli soldiers' family, over the Zionist society. After all, when we are talking about asymmetric war, not conventional war, we in Hamas and the resistance are after raising the cost of occupation on security level and on the economic level. Smotrich, the finance minister of the Israeli, after the passing of 27th day of the war, he declared the loss, the direct loss of economy economy of expenses of the war. I'm talking about, not the other economical loss. He was talking about $16 billion loss. I'm telling you that today they have announced in Israel that they have the budget of war. It costs them $2.5 billion every week. Every week. So that is a great pressure over the Israeli economy.
How about the losses to their soldiers? How many soldiers have been killed inside Gaza?
Since 27th of October till day before yesterday, they themselves announced the official number around about 379 soldiers, and that is a big number.
That is your statistics, or they are by the Israel?
No, it's their own statistics. But our statistics is still not clear because the situation is not feasible to go and count of them. But what is your
understanding? What is your understanding?
It's 3 times of the numbers which they are doing. It's like the American when they were doing in their so-called war against terrorism. They were sending coffins of their own soldiers, 1 or 2 every 1 month, but it was tens or maybe hundreds of them they were lying over there.
You are talking about Afghanistan.
Yeah. Many of you have witnessed this thing your own self on that day. So I'm telling you that yes.
How much area of Gaza has been under the reoccupation of Israeli army?
This is what I'm saying. There are 2 things. First of all, again, I want to come back the losses of the soldiers. I'm talking about that. Now for our mujahideen, many times it happens that those evacuated buildings, residential areas, is being occupied by the Israeli army groups. They're divided into group of 10s, a group of 6, group of 5, something like this. And then many times the fighters of Hamas, they managed to attack over them, and first with the with the bomb, and then they approach them with the automatic rifles, and then they kill them all. So it's a really honored fighting man to man, and also against the military targets. This is very important thing. And then when we talk about the incursions and penetration inside Gaza, you know, Gaza is of an area, Gaza Strip of an area of 365 square kilometers. Talking about the south, everybody is talking about forcing the people to move toward the south. There are two things to know about the south. One, the south of Gaza is composing only 1.5% of the whole geography of Gaza Strip. Two, that 43% of the Palestinian casualty is in the south. So the Israelis, when they are lying that for our people to force them to move from north to south, they are forcing them to go to their death. It's similar what the ISIS used to do, that they draw the people towards some channels, and then they find them killed over there. So this is the terrorist act by the Israelis. This is very important.
But do you think they ultimately they want to expel Palestinian people from Gaza to Egypt?
This is yes. Smotrich has said himself, the finance minister of Israel, he said the only viable solution is that the Gazan should be shifted or forced expelled to Sinai or to Europe.
But do you think that that would happen?
What we call it, Javed? There is some particular that is, I mean, the pure race. You know, the American administration said it the same thing, that we are after the making the world safer for our own people, make it secure for America, as if it is that the only humans in this world are Israelis, for example, and the others, they are not humans. They want to go for a pure race, or maybe so as Trump used to say, the white supremacy and something like that. No, they failed to do this thing. You know, our people, they left their houses to the neighborhood, also to the families, and but they did not make immigration. Well, for Sinai, that is not feasible. We are deep rooted in our land, and we will stay over there. You know that even the refugee centers, they are around about 222 refugee centers. They are either in the north or in the center of Gaza, in a valley of Gaza. It's not in the south. The south is a small area, and it's our people. While they were even moving from place to place, they are telling their children that we will come back to our house. Don't worry, it's only a few days and something like this. You know, it's human. They fear the bombardments, and they are terrified of this barbaric offensive and aggression by the Israelis. Coming back to the Israeli invasion inside Gaza, if you allow me, Javed.
Yes, please go ahead.
The only military achievement has been gained by the Israeli today is the besieging of the hospitals. And for the reality, now I was gathering information and analyzing deeply why the Israelis are bombarding schools. Al-Fakhura school, 200 students, innocent students, they were killed in a few minutes, but without any reason. As it has been said in Holy Quran, what is the sin has been perpetrated by those innocent students to be killed brutally by Israel? Why they are attacking over hospitals? And I went very deeply. I checked with my friends. I checked the satellite images. I checked everything. And I found that all those stories are fabricated. Even the Ashifa hospital story, which has been narrated by Biden himself and the Israelis. You know, Biden is like as if they are saying the same statements, or they are copying each other.
Biden has been parroting what Netanyahu has been saying.
Exactly. Okay, but I found it is simply they want to kill the will of the nation. You know, when you want to win, you need to understand the winning and the victory are stories of perception. And when you want to check the perception of resistance and the
So
perception of
my impression is, correct me if I'm wrong, that perhaps there is a kind of a scenario where there is a back and forth movement of Israeli army after they pick up a fight with the Hamas fighters, and then they withdraw, and then that kind of
Yeah,
situation.
they did not tell moment. Yes, exactly. You're right. There is till moment Israeli army was not able to capture and seize any area. They get in open highways. They get in cultivated areas in northwest area and into the coastal area. It has no military values. So they get over the, or maybe they bulldoze a road or bulldoze a track by air bombardment and they move inside it, and they get in clash and combat with our fighters, and they get retreated. They cannot stay over there because mostly every day we are witnessing at least 5 to 6 military machines being destroyed by Hamas, and many tens of soldiers being killed, and that has never been mentioned by the media.
Israel, the apartheid state, has been claiming that those who are being killed they are among the civilians, and Hamas is not making public their names. Do you think some of the members of the Hamas fighters were also among the civilians who were killed by Israel, or this is again a false claim? Or I'm also interested basically to know your casualty figures, which must be there.
Now, of course, we have Shuhada over there. We don't have precise numbers. And we always receive these statements by Abu Ubaidah. Till moment, the security situation is not viable to have exact data over there. But I tell you, there are three of our leaders has been martyred. Three of them, they died in their house, but they were not be assassinated. They were last of them was the vice speaker of the parliament, Dr. Ahmed Bahar. He passed away a couple of days ago. And then there were two Hamas leaders. They were killed in the center and in the south, but they are ex leaders. I mean, they are not existing leaders. And I tell you, one of the success of Hamas today, that the enemy was not able to assassinate not a single Hamas or Al-Qassam leader since 7th of October till today. And all fabricated stories, we demanded from the international community. I'm talking about the stories of Al-Shifa hospital and the Indonesian hospital. Today, they bombarded the Indonesian hospital. They want to repeat the other massacre of Al-Shifa hospital, again, under the same fabricated story of the presence of Hamas fighters or maybe rockets stores or something like this. There are two things. We demanded a fact-finding committee from a third side internationally, and even through you, I'm reiterating the same story, that let us do this, the international community, form a third side fact-finding committee and send it to those hospitals and find and check about the Israeli propaganda, whether there is any Hamas over there or any store over there or any rockets over there. They're all fabricated story, my brother. They want only to make this has been said by Afi Dechter. Afi Dechter, the minister inside the emergency government of Netanyahu. He said it on TV. He said, we want to do the Nakba of 2023. That is the Nakba of 1948, which has happened after destroying
Quite
600
understandable. I'm
Palestinian villages. He wants to do the same over here.
I'm also interested to know about the network of tunnels, because everybody talks about it. And probably this is assessment by Israel that there is around 400-kilometer long network of tunnels. But I'm not obviously interested to know about the total length of these tunnels, because it is anybody's guess. But I'm just interested to know about the structure of these tunnels, which has been providing shelter to the Hamas fighters.
You know, Dani Atum, the previous chairman of Mossad, he was sending an advice to his colleagues and was saying that do not enter into the city of tunnels. It is a hell for you. You will die over there. And he was saying, by the way, it is 500 kilometers, not 400. So me, myself, I don't know about it. I have never been there. But I tell you that the Hamas resistance fighters, they gathered the experience from different nations in the world who has experienced the fighting against colonials. Many of them, they were in the Eastern countries. Many of those experiences has been gathered again, from nations who were suffering the colonialism of the American troops, the bombardment of the American troops over them for many years, and the American had to go back home defeated and retreat defeated over there. I tell you that our fighters, they have developed a very well orchestrated chain of those tunnels that can be secure, to steadfast, and to fight for the security of our nation and to return the legitimate right of our people.
How long they can fight being inside the tunnels? I mean, 6 months, 7 months, 3 months. What is the stock of the weapon?
When we say it's a flood, so it's a tsunami. You cannot expect it. You cannot expect its tide. You cannot expect the frequency of the waves over there. When I was in Jakarta during the tsunami, I have seen a flagship which should be inside the ocean. I have seen it in the roads of Jakarta. So you can see what is the meaning of tufan and the flood. So exactly, it's an open confrontation. Alhamdulillah, our mujahideen, they are capable enough to revive and replenish. You know, our mujahideen, they are living with their own dates and water, and they can manage for months of that, and they can manage enough that our enemy is not able to manage. You know, Israel cannot understand two things: the economic loss and the long confrontation.
So I'm interested to know about the status of the negotiations, which has been happening, and I think Qatar has been facilitating those negotiations. What is the status of those talks, and can we expect some sort of at least so-called humanitarian pause if the ceasefire cannot be there, because Israel at this particular point of time seems to be not willing to go for any ceasefire?
Well, there are many questions in one question. I will start from the last. That's the willing of Israelis to stop or not to stop. Actually, Israelis has no luxury to choose. The Israeli elders today, they are in the square of stalemate over the chessboard. You know, the stalemate square of the chessboard is the step before checkmate. It's the step before checkmate, still not checkmate. So because Netanyahu knows very well, if he stopped the war today, he will go to the jail, and he has to face Vinograd again. So he is after his own personal interest, not his own society interest. And this is very important to highlight over here. Second thing, no, it's the American. Today, if I may say, that we have seen that Blinken, for example, convene a press conference in Washington or in New York, and take his flight direct to Tel Aviv. In that press conference, he announced that I am going for the humanitarian pause, and I will convince the Israeli leaders with this. And then the time he arrived at Tel Aviv, he participated in war room of so-called war ministry of Israel in Tel Aviv, and Al-Ma'madani massacre happens. And in the second visit, the same scenario, a press conference in Washington talking about humanitarian pause, and he arrived at Tel Aviv, and 3 massacres happened: Al-Shifa massacres, Indonesian hospital massacres, and Al-Fakhura school massacres.
So you are saying
As if
that the US is in hand in glove with the Israel.
there are two scenarios. Either they are they are ordering Netanyahu not to stop this war in order to destroy the deep conscience of the Palestinian masses not to dare to fight against Israel, and that is to destroy the will of the nation, and that is impossible, and that is not happening. Or maybe they have a green light for the Israeli forces to perpetrate more killing. Actually, allow me over here before going to the conclusion of this question. As if today, if I want to analyze the behavior of American administration in the Russian or Ukraine crisis and their behavior in this in Gaza field, as if the American, they are saying, go to hell with the Ukrainian, go to hell with the Russian, go to hell with the Israelis, go to hell with the Palestinian. They are only because that in the strategic article of 18th of November written by Biden in Washington Post, he concluded that my target is to make America safe. So this is what I'm saying. That is, I mean, he is not taking care of interests of anything happening in the region. He's just only in favor of making some elites. Well, I'm not talking
I
about
want
the
to come back.
American.
I want to come back about the Hamas fighters. The general perception is that a significant number among the Hamas fighters are those who were the survivors of the previous 3 to 4 wars, and many of their family members were killed by Israel in airstrikes. And now it seems that perhaps similar situation is again developing, that now so many people have been killed. Around about 13,000 Palestinians have been killed, and probably more than 32,000 others have been injured. They have been maimed. Now, what are you? First, I want to know about the number of the Hamas fighters who were the victims of the Israeli, whose families were victims of Israeli aggression. And the second, your assessment about the survivor of this war, the families who kids have survived. Do you foresee that they will once again, in a similar fashion, they would join Hamas to fight against apartheid state in future?
Well, Javed, Hamas is no more a political party. It's a trend among the nation. It's a current all over Ummah. I mean, I have seen many people in different Muslim countries and non-Muslim countries. They claiming that they are supporting Hamas because they have seen the wisdom of this movement and the deep coherence with the nation. You know, that young girl of 19 years old coming from beneath the rubbles and declare Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah and Ashhadu Muhammadan Rasulullah, and say thank God that I am okay. And in front of her, tens of the coffins, her father, her mother, her sister, and chanting against Israel, demanding the leadership of Hamas to take a revenge. This is the will of nation, which is equal to millions of doubles of any other power. That is the guarantee of this path. We, Hamas, are part and parcel of the Palestinian street. You cannot differentiate. You know, we have to differentiate between those fighters. We have around about 50 to 60,000 Al-Qassam Brigade fighters. They are under the weapon oath, and they are well equipped and well trained.
50 to 60,000.
Yes, but on the other hand, yes, we are having the members of Hamas who are doctors, who are engineers. You know, we Palestinian eat policy with our breakfast politics. So I mean that you cannot, I mean, separate the political situation, because simply we are under the occupation for the last 74 years. So our people is heavily obsessed by the memories of war and memories of revolution and the deep belief for liberation and winning. So you cannot, as if it is said, let me over here caught one of the sentences during one of the Hollywood movies of Vendetta, when he tried to kill him under the mask, and he said that we do not die. Beneath this mask is more than a flesh. It's an idea, and the idea is a bulletproof. So this is very important. Our ideas, our belief, our deep creed is a bulletproof. You cannot kill it. We will not die. And there is no difference between Hamas, Jihad, and other children of Palestine. We are Palestinian, and Palestinian, they are resistance fighters, and they will continue this thing. One thing that the West, they are not doing, they are not knowing about our people, that the more you pressurize them, the more you get resistance out of it. We will not surrender. Javed, our
Yes.
children were dying in their bedrooms before 7th of October because of the embargo and the besiege and the dire situation. There is no viable and respected life over there in Gaza. And you know, we do not live, we use not to live a respectful life over there. Today, our people, they feel that they die for a reason. You know, those suffering and those humanitarian crises is being tried by every dignitarious nation in this world who fought against colonial power. Your elders, they fought for independence. The Algerian, they offered 1,500,000 shaheed, martyr, confronting the French killers and French colonials. Again, the French people themselves, when they achieved their revolution, they didn't take their revolution and victory while they were sitting in Rome, in their houses. They thronged into the street. They fought against the feudalism. They fought for their own dignity and prosperity, and that is the whole nations in South America.
One of the missing question I think was about the status of the negotiations. Do you think some sort of negotiation will take place, as a result of which some of the prisoners of war from the both sides would be released?
We proposed this thing from day one, Javed. I mean, it's a very simple formula. We have more than 7,000 prisoners. They are our heroes. They are not criminals. You know, they are doctors, they are engineers, they are philanthropists, they are member parliaments, they are media correspondents. We have daughters over there. We have children under 18, and we have 2,000 prisoners who doesn't know why they have been kept in this jail. We call it administrative detention. 2,000 of them, and tens of them, they've been in the jail for the last 17 years. They don't know why they are kept over there. It's a simple formula and logical one. It's not conditioned. We are in a war. We took prisoners. Many of them, they were coming to kill our children. We took them from the war zone. We didn't take them from their bedrooms. We were fighting with them. They are settlers. And you know, settlers, they compose half of the reserve army forces of Israel. If the reserve army of Israel is 400,000, 200,000 of them are settlers who are killing our farmers in West Bank daily, who raided over Al-Aqsa Mosque, the first Qibla of Muslims, who raided the churches of Al-Quds, and under the safeguard of the police and the Israeli army. So it's a very simple formula.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
In order to summarize it.
Yes, please.
Javed, if you allow me. You know, we offered that we can return 50 or 70 of the so-called hostages. I mean, in return, we need our children. By the way, Hamas do not have any kid, any children. We don't have children. I mean, the Israelis, they claim that we have some child of 9 months old, and another child with 4. That's all totally fabricated story. Maybe it has been held by other factions or other people. We don't know about that. We have declared that we don't know about it. But for us, we don't have any children. We need our children who are under 18, and the girls who has been for tens of years inside the Israeli jail to be released and join their family. in front of that, the hostages will be going and join their families, the civilians.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I was told by one friend of mine that during last 3 years, 18,000 Palestinians were killed by Israel in different incidents, and there was little reporting about it. Can you confirm these statistics?
How many?
18,000 during last 3 years.
What is precisely has been evident and credentialed by the prisoners Palestinian society. It is an official governmental society that since 1967 we have lost 100,000 martyrs.
Right, from 1967 till now.
Yeah, without those 13,000, which we have lost them in round about 44 days. So
No,
can you imagine?
I want to go to the bigger picture which is developing in the region. How do you see the military presence of Americans in the Mediterranean Sea? There are 2 aircraft carriers and they have also one nuclear submarine. What message Americans are trying to send to the regional countries, particularly Iran and its allied groups like Hezbollah, other pro-Shia militias in Iraq and in Syria, and particularly Houthis in Yemen?
See, it's important to note over here that the first official governmental statement has been passed about the developments of Al-Aqsa flood on 7th of October was by the White House, much before than the Israeli government, which they came in the afternoon and has released their own statement, Netanyahu statements. That by self is implicit and indicative that the American, they are fearing a real threat against Israel by what has happened on 7th of October. And then since that time, we have seen that how America, again, I want to refer to the 18th of November article by Biden. Whenever he's saying that it's not me, I have another 50 countries with me. That's, recall those alliance against Yemen, which has been formed by America. And then where we have reached today, a quagmire that they have never came out of it, and a regret of many countries who has participated in that American alliance for unjustice war. Again, America is reiterating and repeating the history. They want to invade Palestinian, not Palestine. They want to invade 365 square kilometers and bulldoze it and committing massacres against our people who are the legal custodian of the land, like they have done against the Japanese and that like they have done against the Vietnamese. If the social media today, which existing today, was existing on the time of Japan, we have to expect that it's been tweeted by the White House that yesterday we have suffered a nuclear attack by the Japanese over Hawaii. This is how American is doing the thing. It's not fabricated. It's not fantasy. Look at most of the Hollywood movies when they describe or they want to proscribe the image of the Vietnamese War. We all feel sorry for the American soldiers after watching the
Do you
movie.
think there's some
feeling that
American soldiers, there were some reports that perhaps American advisors are also participating?
2,000 American soldiers has been announced officially by the American. 2,000 American soldiers has been sent to participate Israeli army in this war. Well,
they are at the borders of Gaza, or they are inside the Gaza?
According to the American reports, some of them has been killed inside Gaza while they were looking for the heads of the prisoners.
So do you fear that this war could possibly expand, maybe more regional countries coming into this, also because of the fact that it is a desire of Netanyahu that Americans must be involved in a bigger game plan, which may involve attacking Iran?
You know, we are not warmongers, but we are freedom fighters. Unfortunately, the American, when they start to think out of their muscles, not of their rationality, they fell into a trap of the eagerness for more bloodshedding and the eagerness for more hegemony. You know, one of the major outcomes of this war, this is very important, that it is the new geopolitics in the region. That is the finishing of the hegemony, not the hegemon, I'm saying. Maybe America will continue to exist as a powerful superpower, but it's no more hegemony. It's no more hegemony of Israel. One of the major outcomes of Al-Aqsa flood is changing, a real changing, according to Thomas Friedman, of the geopolitics of the region. It's no more tolerance of any hegemonic power. It will be the end of the hegemony. Maybe the hegemon itself will continue, but the orchestration of the transformation era into a new world order, according to the conditions of America, will never exist. It's no more the design of America. That hegemon is no more as powerful as he used to be in the past. But yes, you're right. We all fear the stupidity and criminality of America. When they think out of their muscles, they may involve the whole world with unwanted world war. This is what has happened in the Second World War. It was never designed for that, but it was again the misperception or miscalculation of those
Unintended consequences.
criminal forces. Yeah. So yes, we are there, but I'm telling you that
Coming to the very
America as a hegemonic.
last part of our interview about how do you see the role of the Arab rulers, and particularly this recent so-called Islamic conference and Arab leagues. They put their heads together. We have not heard anything other than that, those usual statements of condemnation and demanding from Israel to go for a ceasefire, without actually doing anything practical, which could have been for many. They could have suspended their trade ties, they could have suspended their diplomatic ties. Saudi Arabia could have suspended the oil supplies to the West, none of which happened. How do you see that kind of role of the Arab rulers and the Muslim world at a time when Israel as a butcher has been engaged in ethnic cleansing of Palestinians in Gaza?
57 countries. They are half of the international community, maybe the 188 members of the United Nations. They are 2 billion population, 2+ billion population, natural resources. Well, I believe that I don't want to have any bad comments over here, because a lot of frustration over there from the nations of the region. OIC has been established in 1969 for the only one reason: to restore Salah ad-Din podium, to restore the position of Al-Aqsa Mosque, to regain the freedom for the first Qibla of Muslimin. This is what they say, not me. But till moment, the Al-Aqsa Mosque is being raided by the Israelis. Today, we are fearing the temporal and spacious division of Al-Aqsa Mosque between the Jews and Muslims. Al-Aqsa Mosque, which has been declared by UNICEF, is a place for only Muslims. It's been also threatened by the division. I do not say that I am expecting something. I do not demand anything more than to respect themselves. Those elders of this ummah, who has been convened in one of the most noble region, that is in Mecca and Medina, okay, that they have released statements, at least to open Rafah gate. Where is it? Why it is not open? This cannot be tolerated. Second thing, that there should be some practical statements. Talking about condemnation is not enough. Now, I'm not calling only for the severing of relation with Israel. I'm calling about to stop furnishing Israel with petrol, with fuel. I'm talking about. Uh, 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 can I have a question over here? Is Bolivia is more Muslim than us and Muslim Ummah? They're more Arab than us. Why they have felt the pain and the depth of their heart in front of those atrocities, Israeli atrocities against the Palestinian people, and they severed the relation with Israel. They are poorer than any other country who's having their relation with Israel in the region. But they didn't think on that. They think that they are dignitarious, they are prosperous, they carry an idea, and these ideas has to be respected. Our elders, the governments in the region, we carry a respect for them, but I'm telling you, they have deepened the frustrations among the nations, and it's no more that the nations of this ummah are having any confidence on them. Today is a big judgment day, that what are they going to do inside Gaza, what they are going to do to stop killing of children inside Gaza, what they are going to do to safeguard the first Qibla of Muslims.
With this, I conclude this show, and I thank you very much for giving me time, and I look forward to have you again at some other point of time. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you indeed. Allah Hafiz.
has looked upon Pakistan